how are you guys doing today? That's right, your friendly neighborhood Double D. Figured I'd sneak a quick video in today. And yeah, more bad news. Last week I had to tell you that a certain creator of a Warhammer Fantasy RPG ripoff game that he made does not like conservatives, Republicans, probably even centrists who lean right, or people who just are not authoritarians. This is Modiphius, and they actually make, I think, a fairly well thought of system, 2 die 20, and they kind of latch it on to intellectual properties like Star Trek and Conan. They just lost the Conan license, but yeah, a lot of people like it. I know one of the folks I follow on Twitter, Crafty Matt. He thinks really highly of the Conan game. And I do have both those systems, both those rule books, and I have a couple of supplements here or there. And I actually wouldn't mind just kind of seeing how it runs. But I may think twice about supporting them in the future, because they're kind of putting their cards on the table, and they're coming out with another game here. Another Cthulhu game. Yay. Ever since, I don't know if Cthulhu maybe became public domain. I think that's what happened. But yeah, this is Cohors Cthulhu from Modiphius. It's coming soon to Kickstarter. Where once mighty legions marched and valiant tribes fought, where legends walked the lands and terrors prowled the vast forests, where ancient secrets unlocked immense power. You get the idea. It's essentially Cthulhu meets ancient Rome. So I don't know if that appeals to you. I don't know. Well, then great. You'll probably like it. If you're not a fan of, current day politics invading every aspect of your game, you may want to think twice, which kind of leads me to an exchange, I guess, that happened on a private Facebook group. Somebody had tipped me off to it and just kind of grabbed a few bits of it. So I will put it out there, and I'll tell you what, you guys can decide. How about that? All right, so this is from someone named Remy Fayomi. I guess is an administrator in the Modiphius Facebook group. And Remy says, so Cohors Cthulhu was doing great, then fell victim to the woke mind virus that Elon Musk is targeting. Like, seriously. In the ancient world, you had priests of Gala who were gender non-conforming, effeminate men even, but nobody had pronouns as a thing. Pronouns? Oh my lord, but what do you think he means? Yet here we see pronouns prominently emblazoned on character sheets for Cohors Cthulhu. Not even Star Trek had this. Better go play Lex Arcana by Acheron Games, a beautiful Italian game with better art too. Sadly, Modiphius is turning towards activism, not game design. So here we have, I don't know if this is like a grab. It's got to be some kind of a grab. We have a character here, or an NPC named, looks like maybe Verodo. They, she, he. What? A Gaulish smuggler and bandit. Now in their late 20s, Verodu has never thought of themselves as a criminal, but crime has nonetheless often been their only means of survival. You go down further, and this is kind of with the troubling part. Down here, Verodu was raised as a girl, but is adaptable, viewing themselves as neither man nor woman. All right, so this is kind of where maybe you're saying, like, well, all right, I'll accept a little bit of this insanity. If they just want to throw these pronouns on there and then just kind of not even comment on it, I can live with that. But, now you're kind of seeing it written into the bios. It's just, it won't stop. They will keep putting more and more and more of this stuff in there because they have an agenda. It's activism. It really is. Okay, so that led Chris Shepperson, who I think is heading up the Cohors Cthulhu line, and he responded, "Hey Remy, I'm Shep, the line manager for Cohors Cthulhu. I want to say so much in response to this post, but I'm going to censor myself down a bit. I rarely chip in to discussion on social media about Modiphius projects, but as this one is so close to home, I felt the need. Maybe you should have just not said anything. But we will continue. Over the last year, since I took over the line, I've poured my life into organizing and managing a sizable team of creatives, writers, editors, proofreaders. Hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of love have been poured into the game that is now, for the first time, giving away a sneak peek of what's to come. Boy, they put this in the sneak peek, huh? Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder what else is in there. I'm very proud of what Chris, Doug, Matt, and the team have created. For the first online post I see about the game to be so venomous, it's both insulting to all the people that have given so much time and effort to make something special, me included, as well as to be agonizing, embarrassing to you. I mean, if it's so hurtful, I don't know if it would be embarrassing to him. He obviously achieved an effect, probably one that he didn't even intend. He was just kind of saying how disappointed he was. For you guys to take it so seriously and personally, well, I mean, that's on you, right? For anyone in 2023 to think that being inclusive of all people, including mentally ill people, I guess, is a bad thing scares me. I honestly think you need to step back, read your own words, ask yourself why this is such an issue. Do better, as they, as those folks like to say. You want fewer people to feel accepted and included by a community. Why wouldn't they feel included if they didn't have the pronoun? I don't understand that. I mean, the only people you're trying to include are people who virtue signal their pronouns. The vast majority of the world thinks it's a joke. It's peculiar only to, here and, places in, Western Europe. Now, the rest of the world seems to know the difference between a boy and a girl. You want fewer people to buy, enjoy, or play the game? Good Lord. Why? While including something as simple as pronouns on a character sheet might seem woke to you, can you acknowledge that to some people this is a significant difference between feeling accepted and acknowledged or not? You don't give in to the least common denominator. I'm sorry. It's going to turn off way more people than it, attracts. Now, some of the people that you turn off may hold their nose and still buy the product. And that's, I guess, up to everybody. I'm not going to sit here and say, don't get this. But this is what you're dealing with. Okay, this is the mindset. It isn't just we're putting this out there and then, we're just going to leave it and, people can figure it out for themselves. This is them getting up in somebody's face for pushing back a little on this. I don't believe you have any right to tell others how they should be affected by such issues. And I fail to see how the inclusion of such aspects can offend someone so much. We've made a game that is focused on being inclusive for a global community in 2023. Well, that's funny, because I would want a game that's focused on detail about Cthulhu in ancient Rome. It doesn't appear that was the whole priority. It appears, how do we have this setting, but how do we interject modern-day politics into this? So it could be compromised already, and he's as much said so. Now, before you swing back to your previous argument of, in the ancient world, you had priests of Gala who were gender nonconforming, effeminate men even, but nobody had a pronouns thing. Are you seriously going to tell me that the main issue here is historical accuracy? All right, and he kind of goes on this tangent. I mean, there are people with tentacles for heads. I've seen Gladiator, but not once did Russell Crowe have to dismember anyone with a tentacle growing from their head. God, these people annoy me so much. If historical accuracy is your primary concern, this might not be the setting for you. Well, historical accuracy, maybe is lacking a little bit, but you need some historical authenticity to buy in to the setting. When you have somebody introducing themselves with pronouns, which I am almost 100% sure did not happen in ancient Rome. It's going to be a little off-putting. As for throwing your toys out of the pram and going to play Lex Arcana, do it. It's an awesome game with a fantastic creative team, and I'm sure the people on this thread would be relieved to know that you parted ways with them. All right, now this is getting into bitchy Kelly Sue DeConnick territory.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. problem solved.
He's essentially saying that in so many words. Please don't take the hate with you, as when you dig into Lex Arcana and speak out on their social groups, you'll find they're just as lovely and inclusive as we are. Oh my, I can almost see the venom dripping from the teeth when he says lovely and inclusive. These are the most unlovable, hateful, non-inclusive people that have ever walked the earth. He goes on, boy, this guy doesn't give up. Despite the sourness that your post left in my mind, I did want to end on a high note, and thank you for taking time to read the QS and take in the content, especially on the day it was released. And then I don't know if he's going on to butter him up here. But at the end, of course, he circles back and says, I hope you take some time to think about what you've said. Retract those comments. Struggle session time. Find a way to make it back up to all the people that your comments may well have had a powerfully negative impact on. Well, sorry, truth hurts. Look, from a drug addict's point of view, you telling them that they have a problem and you're going to kick them out of the house if they don't get help, that has a negative impact on them at that moment. It might be good for them in the long run, though. And maybe if we stop catering to folks with a deep-seated mental illness and maybe get them some actual help that they need, they will be the better for it, and society will too, because this is just unsustainable. We are approaching something very, very dark if this keeps up. Chris Birch chimes in here too, and I believe Chris Birch might be the CEO of Modiphius, and he says that he also responds to Remy. Cohors Cthulhu, and soon every 2D20 game, will include pronouns on the character sheets, because I care that people I know who might feel alienated by this conversation will see that we're making an effort. And I guess he's just admitting to virtue signaling, right? Isn't that what it is? We're making an effort. See, we're one of the good people. It's not a conspiracy. I literally love everyone. I voted for Trump. Do you love me? And I don't want a single person to feel they're not welcome. I really don't care if it means putting a place for pronouns or a place to draw a rainbow flag. Seriously, we're playing a game, not forming a political party. Seriously, let it go if you have a problem with that. And, just put a sticker over it on the character sheet. Well, okay, but then do you put a sticker over the part where in the bio you say, like, this character didn't know who they were at birth, so they identify as okay. It's not just a piece on a character sheet. Looks like it's seeping into the game a little bit here. So that's all I wanted to tell you. Obviously appears Modiphius, who, like I said, had a reputation for being a little bit woke. Even before this, they are pretty much putting their cards on the table and saying, hey, you don't like it? Tough. This is the way it is. So you have to decide, is the 2-die-20 system worth, all of this? And some of you might say, well, yeah, it is. I'll just ignore all that. You know what? And that's fine. As I tell you guys time and time again, everybody has their own red line. But if you're kind of on the fence, you don't like this kind of stuff, I don't know, maybe think twice about about getting Cohors Cthulhu, because it appears from here on out, that's going to be, standard operating procedure. All right. Well, that is all. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Remember, if you like this kind of stuff, I don't do just this kind of stuff. You can look back at some of the videos I do. Try to do regular, just normal gaming content, do some live plays. And of course, we have The Lair every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is our weekly live stream. We have a lot of fun with that. Hope to see you guys there. All right, so that is going to do it. You guys take care. Have a great, great rest of the day, and I promise we will talk very, very soon. Goodbye.
What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi, good night, everybody.